Hey babes, welcome to She's Lost Her Mind. Grab your laundry because today we're going over how to make friends and just the friendships that we lose, that it's okay to mourn friendships as an adult, all the things. Grab your laundry. I'm fucking serious. It's time to fold. I don't like it either. So we're doing this together. So I asked a bunch of my friends, what is it that you have noticed about yourselves as we get older, when it comes to friendships, because my friends are doing all sorts of different things. I have friends who are teachers, friends who are still going to school, friends that are stay-at-home moms, friends that work from home. I have friends that own multiple businesses and are like that bad bitch. I've got friends from all walks of lives. We're in our late 20s and early 30s, and this shit's hard. So we're going to talk about it. I recently have reconnected with a lot of my old friends after being at the bottom of a bottle, man. I'm not even going to sugarcoat that. I was a drunk. I used to fall asleep in public. I asked my friends, what is it about friendships in adulthood? Like, what advice do you have? Almost all of them mentioned something about boundaries. Ladies, you all are too smart for me. Like, my friends are beautiful women. And I mean up in the brain, dude. They're so fucking smart. Like, their brains are beautiful. The fuck? You guys took me on a wild journey of thoughts. They all brought up boundaries. They all said something to the extent of, I just know who I am now and I'm very firm on my boundaries. And I felt that because I used to just go along with whatever and follow where the party was. Bro, I was never happy. Let's just be real. That shit did not make me happy because I wasn't being true to myself always. I didn't even know what I wanted. Let's talk about that for a second. I had no idea what I needed, wanted, or even what kind of friend I was because I was on substances all the time. I had no idea. I know myself on such a, and I'm not knocking anybody who drinks. I'm still friends with a lot of people who drink and whatever. It's just that me personally, I lack self-control. Right now I'm addicted to energy drinks and not eating food. It's not a great addiction, but it's not alcohol. So, once I started realizing I have to learn who I am, that's what people mean by you can't love anybody else if you don't love yourself. That should not be a self-hatred thing. That should be a thing of like, my vibe attracts my tribe. Because, babe, if you don't know yourself, how are other people gonna know you to love you? It has nothing to do with, like, you being trash. Because most people take it there, they're like, "Nobody will love me." I actually just had a conversation with a new friend about this. She was like, "How can anybody love me when I act like this?" No, no. No, sis, no. How can anybody love you when you're not even sure how you need to love yourself? Because you don't know how to tell people, this is how I feel loved. This is how you love me. So it doesn't matter if it's love, friendship, whatever, it's the fucking same. You need to figure out what kind of friend you are. And if you find out when you figure out what kind of friend you are, that takes friendship to a whole nother level. Because then you're able to see what kind of friends you need. Recently, one of my like dearest friends in the entire universe was telling me, now that both of our kids are older, she's noticing that she kind of feels like our friends that have younger kids maybe don't like her as much. And I was like, you sure it's that they don't like you, bro? Or you think that maybe we're just all in different phases of life, and you're starting to feel that. and your body's not really sure how to react to that feeling. So I don't think it's necessarily that they don't like her anymore. I know it's not that they don't like her anymore because it, they're awesome women. So I know that's not the case. I know that's her feeling insecure about change because her and I have older kids. Like, if my friends' kids with like, came over here, like, toddlers, my house is not even set up for a toddler. Like, I have breakable things everywhere, you know what I mean? Like, things that they could get into. I have a small dog that doesn't to be pulled on. Like, this is not a little kid house, you know? So, it's just finding friends that fit in where you fit in. Because if I only had friends that had small children and I couldn't ever have them come over or anything like that, and I'm a mom as well, that's gonna be an issue. You know, if you're a messier person and you only hang out with clean freaks and so they can't ever come over to your house and hang out, that's gonna be an issue. You know what I mean? Like, these are all things to think about. And I've just noticed women really get down on themselves. I don't want to see that anymore. Stop getting down on yourself. There's other women out there who want a friend just like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so sick of everybody talking about dating and being like, there's someone out there for you. Nah, women need other women friends. Fuck these men for a second. We're gonna put them on the back burner where they fucking belong because this episode is about girl friendship. These are the bonds that help me survive. Like, I'm not joking. Whenever I'm not in close communications with my friends, your girl feels broken inside. I'm just a Carrie looking for my Samantha. I'm just kidding. I have lots of friends. But that's the thing is that as I've gotten older, they've gotten more genuine. I've noticed that as I've gotten older and just been like, this is who I am, and I've just fucking owned it, I attract other people who do that as well, or they're ready to. Because as I brought up the girl that I talked to the other day about how she was like, oh my God, I can't be loved. Yes, you can, sis. Yes, you can. You haven't been honest with yourself. Who are you? What do you want? Me personally, I like my sobriety respected. If you're not going to respect my sobriety, I don't really care who you are. Even if Marshall Mathers came up in here and was like, take this shot and I'll marry you, I would be like, what? That's not who I thought you were. No. I don't care if there's an apology, if there's Marshall Mathers attached to it. Anything like that. If anybody ever wants me to go back to a time in my life where I wasn't in control over my own body or I would pass out in public, because a lot of my old friends have literally said things like this to me. Past relationships, they've said things like, I miss the times when you used to go crazy and sit on the floor and get drunk. I never want to sit on the floor with a bottle of whiskey in my hand again. Okay? That's not me. She don't exist anymore. And if you want her to exist, then you don't exist in my world. Because that means that you don't want the best for me. And I don't fucking hang with people like that. You either want the best for me and you either are going to go hard as fuck for me at all times. And I will do the same. Or you got to go. Okay? Because I don't get things done in my life when I am that girl. Because how can you? I'm in my 30s now. Could you imagine what it would feel like to wake up with that hangover after you passed out in a public bathroom? No. I'm going to tell you what it feels like. It feels like fucking death. And you vomit a lot. When I had a regular job, you're on the verge of getting fired a lot. You're getting written up a lot. Like, I'm being for real. Past jobs that I've had that weren't bartending, in my employee file, it says that I got drunk and came to work vomiting multiple times. I'm not her. and I don't ever wanna be her again. And if that's the her that people want, I'd rather be alone. But you know what? Thankfully, I don't have to be alone because there's other people out there who will respect that and who have literally cheered me on the entire time. I'm telling you, the moment that you are honest with yourself is the moment that you realize who you need to be around, who you want to be around. Because a friend to all is a friend to none. I'm not friends with everybody, and I will never try to be. But you know who I am friends with? My fucking friends. And if anybody comes for them, anybody ever acts disrespectful towards them, you're gonna hear about it. You're gonna hear from me because I don't fucking put up with that shit. I don't like that shit. I don't like when people are goofy around my friends. You wanna act goofy? Come here, we'll act goofy. I'm 5 feet tall, by the way. My mom taught me at a young age, you do not have to be the strongest person in the world. You just have to be the craziest. Just some lessons from Stace. Queen Stace. She's amazing. So this is, if you're having a hard time finding loyal friends, this is the time where you really need to dig deep and look at who the fuck are you? Who are you? What are your values? What do you look for? Because also, if you're like a friend who likes to talk on the phone all the time, and then you're trying to hang out with a bunch of women who post memes that say, or the downfall of being my friend is that I only want to hang out, like once a month. But the upside is that I'll leave you alone. If you if you're like an extrovert and you're trying to make friends with somebody who acts that way and you get like upset when you feel ignored, maybe that's not the person for you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to put a lot of stress on both of you for no fucking reason. Either that or maybe, you know, be friends with them, but also you're going to need other friends if you're an extrovert. You can't just be relying on your introvert friends all the time. They're introverted. They don't, that's a lot of pressure for them. So I think as we get older, the other thing is that women need to start meeting other women where they're at. I have a friend who does a zillion things, and this is her busy time right now. And she ignores my calls a lot. Of course she does. She runs 3 businesses. Duh. It's springtime. This is her busy season. She's going to ignore my calls sometimes. But she does call me when she has free time. Uh, but to think that she's gonna answer every time I call, that's not a realistic expectation. She's a businesswoman and a single mother. You gotta meet people where they're at and realize, like, it's not always you. In fact, it's usually never you. It's People are so involved in our own little worlds these days, myself included, that I would say more often than not, it's about them and not about you. People are just extremely busy now, and we gotta be understanding of that. And that should be your first reaction. Let's talk about that for a second. If your first reaction is, oh my God, they must not like me, we gotta do some healing, because why do you think that? Why do you think that you don't have something to offer? You absolutely fucking do. Stop right there. You have something to offer to everyone. And if somebody made you feel less for being excited about being too much, Taylor Swift said those are the worst kind of people. Are the people who make you feel bad about being excited for something. And that's so true. Fuck those people. I've noticed that. I don't really hang out with people anymore who their first reaction is complain, complain, complain. I don't do that anymore. I only hang out with people whose first reaction is to get excited or ask me how it works. Because I'm a how it works girl. I want to know everything. I want to know. I wanna know the ins and outs, I wanna know how to do it all. I constantly need to learn. But you need a combination of cheerleaders and how it works, girls, because have you guys seen on TikTok, there's, this girl who did a color theory, and she said, like, Angela from The Office is a pink girl. Phoebe from Friends is a purple girl, and for every pink girl, there needs to be a purple girl because the purple girl loosens the pink girl up, and the pink girl helps the purple girl keep track of all her things and make sure she doesn't get lost when you're out with the other colors of girls. You know, there's blue girls, there's turquoise girls, there's maroon and red girls and orange girls. Elle Woods was an orange girl. I thought that she would make her pink, but it makes sense when she, like, explained it. The color theory girl is amazing. If you don't follow her on TikTok, I was so entertained watching that entire series. I hope she brings it back. Oh, man. Anyway, one color that she did bring up that I was like, "Fuck yes," is a red girl. I am a red girl. My aura is also red, so I loved that she, like, explained red girls this way because I was like, "Girl, you talking about auras. You're talking about auras." So, a girl with a red aura is gonna be like, "Hey, everybody, party at my house," or, "Hey, everybody, we're meeting at the restaurant at 7. Remember we all said the dress code was this," or what, the red girl is the one sending that text out. And the red girl, she said, like, "You don't need an OMG yes girl to, like, get the group chat started." I guess I never realized that people did that. Do you guys text your a different friend and say, "Hey, I'm gonna start a group chat. Make sure you answer so it prompts other people to answer." I've never done that. I just bring it to the group chat, and apparently that's a red girl. So, everybody needs that girl in in her friend group. I'm not always the greatest at the logistics of it, so I guess that would be where the pink girl would come in. So, I this is just honestly figuring out who you are, where you fit in, what kind of vibe you bring to the tribe, and who you even need your tribe to be. Because if you're trying to be sober and you have a hard time, this isn't me, but if you do have a hard time hanging around alcohol or, people who drink, then you're going to need to find sober friends. And if like to go out and party still, because a lot of my friends aren't down with that. Like, a lot of my friends do not go out and party anymore. But if you do like to go out and party, you're going to need to find friends who also like to go out and party. Because I'm not knocking that. Let's be real for a second. I actually just met two new girls who were the funnest in the world, by the way. So this is gonna bring me into another thing of, like, how you meet, because okay, a lot of people are like, "Alyssa, how do you always meet friends? Blah, 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 blah." Well, a number of ways. I love to message people and ask them about, like, sorry, if you're listening, I'm gonna use you as an example. A girl on my Facebook had a peeping Tom, and I was like, "Girlfriend, get some fucking cameras," 'cause my sister went through this. I was like, "Get some freaking cameras, get all the things, get some cameras, and let him know that you know that he's doing that." Like, because I'm being so fucking for real. When you call those little cockroaches out and shine a flashlight on them, they all scatter. Yeah, people, that do that kinda shit in secret, they're doing it in secret for a reason. Make it public, make it known, scream it from the rooftops. I had a man try and take me at Walgreens, and because I'm such a psycho, other people, like, jumped in and they were like, "Hey, man, what's up?" And, like, other man jumped out of car. But yeah, another man did jump out of a car and was like, "Hey, bro, anything she can help you with, I can help you with." And then he was like, "Go." And he was like, in his face. I was like, "Oh shit, you're about to get your ass beat." And I'm just gonna drive away like I wasn't the cause. Cause he told me to. He told me to. So, and fuck that guy. He was being weird. So I don't mind being the loudest and the weirdest. And sometimes you gotta be that person. So she had a peeping Tom, and I left some comments. So I messaged her about it because I noticed she deleted the status. So she was like, she told me about the situation, and then guess what she said? Thank you so much for messaging me. And you know what? We're friends now. We text with our phone numbers, not just on Facebook Messenger. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta put yourself out there and don't ever be afraid to talk to people. I message people all the time about their personal statuses. They put it out on the internet for me to see. So I got questions. I got things to say in your DMs. No, but that's actually never steered me wrong, to be honest with you. If you just message people on social media about what they're already posting about, if you know about it, help them out. And first of all, you should always be helping out your fellow woman because that's a gals gal move, and we love gals. So, hit them up, man. If you see, or even if you see something in their status that you like to do, and you're like, "Hey, you wanna go rock climbing? I saw that you rock climb." Please don't ever message me to go rock climbing. I'm not that girl, but there are other girls who are. I also have met multiple women at grocery stores. I know that sounds so weird. I'm only 5 feet tall. I've met tall bitches in the grocery store, man. I need help. Help me. Give me a lift. Just give me a boost. Or just grab it. Whichever. One time I asked a lady if she could give me a boost, and she fucking did. Most people just like look at me and they're like, "Oh, what do you need?" This bitch laughed and came over and gave me a boost. Guess what? We hung out. Hell yeah, we did. That was dope. You matched my energy. I was like, "Girl, can I get a boost?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure." She put her hands down, and I stepped up on her hand, and she boosted me up. Being weird. Who cares? She ended up moving, but when she did move, she brought that story up, and she's like, "I'll never forget when I first met you." That's right. I'm the girl your bitches will never forget that they met. But yeah, be that girl. Who fucking cares? Another way is if you're a bro girl and you have a lot of bros, be friends with the girls they bring around. I'm so goddamn for real right now. Okay, so I just met the two coolest fucking chicks just this week, and they were a whole ass vibe. They were drinking, I was sober, I was driving. So they were wild, they were fun. They were jumping around and, like, playing darts and pool and blah, blah, blah. They were a good time, and you know what? If I didn't have I have one friend who's, like, he's a redneck for one, so he doesn't look like he's a gal's gal, but he is. He's always with the girls, and he is in our girl group chat, 3 holes in a pole, he named it, but he's a gal's gal. He is 100%. And we love him for that, and that's just I love him. So he knows a lot of women because women talk to him and he knows how they are. I've met friends through him. And then I also have a recently divorced beautiful man friend. He gives off daddy vibes. He's amazing, and he brings all the hot chicks to the yard. And you know what? I swoop them up as my friends. I do, because you know what? They're badass. If you like my friends, I'm gonna like you, you know? So don't be afraid to like swap information. And these women got it. They got it. They actually were the ones who were like, "I want your phone number." And I was like, "Yeah, I want your phone number." So if you have hot guy friends, or like the girl's girl guy friend, meet the girls they know. Meet the girls they know, you guys. These girls were so much fun, and I cannot wait to hang out with them again. Even if we don't actually ever reconnect, I loved them. That was so much fun. And that's another way. Just networking with your connections. Who are you only one person away from being connected to? You know what I'm saying? Everybody says that everyone is like 3 people away in the world from meeting someone. So if one of you fuckers is the 3 people, or if 3 of you motherfuckers out there are the 3 people that I need to meet Marshall Mathers, speak up now. Speak up now, where are you? Speak up now. Speak now. Okay, anyway, so yeah, another way that I've met friends is, like, social media groups and just being authentic. Like, one girl, her and I were talking, and she kept saying sorry to word vomit on you, and it wasn't like she was, like, trauma dumping. This is what we were talking about, like, it was a subject we were already discussing. She just got real deep with it for a second, and I said, "Don't ever apologize." I am not here for shallow conversations. If I'm trying to be someone's friend, I don't surface level shit's boring, bro. I don't care anymore. I'm an open book. This is who I am. Let your demons out. Seriously. I think I've built more connection just being so truthful about myself and who I am. I don't want to have fake conversations. I don't want any of that shit. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go overshare to everybody, but like, when you're vibing with somebody. You know what I mean? Don't be overly trustful. Maybe if here's a pro tip. If you are drinking alcohol, don't have deep conversations. That's just not the time. That's not the time. That's not the place. If you are seeking that kind of connection, then you need to go find it in your sober life. Because from speaking from experience, I have had women use that time to get, like, information out of me, and it's a tactic, man. It is a tactic. 50 Cent talks about it in his book, to stay sober. If the boss asks you to go out on the company card, we're gonna do a whole episode on the shit I learned from 50 Cent's book, by the way, because what in the fuck? Curtis Jackson, I hope you run for president one day. I will vote for you. And if you read his book, you'll understand why I say that. So he talks about how if you're drunk, or if everyone else is drunk and you're sober, you can see how everyone moves. If you want to know something about an account or some information on the company, this is the time to get it, when everybody's enjoying the free drinks on the boss. But if you stay sober, it gives you the upper hand. I personally won't have conversations like that. I did drink on my birthday, but I did not get carried out of the bar, and that was such a win for me. Because I want to not have alcohol control me. I don't want something to have control over me. I'm in control. My noggin is strong, and I'm not doing that anymore. You know what I mean? So anyway, I drank almost 3 months ago now on my birthday, and it was a good time, but I wasn't having deep conversations at that time. One time when I did my burlesque shows, another troupe, I went to their show and I was wasty pants. So after the show, they started asking me questions about venues and staging. No. Did drunk me give the answers? Absolutely, I did. Would sober me have given those answers? No. No. Stop being weird. You asked me that when I was drunk on purpose. Stop being weird. So, again, if you're going to consume alcohol, I have no judgment. Just know that these things happen. People do take advantage of people who drink. And that's just life. Fucking sucks, dude. So, again, you ever want that version of me back? She don't exist anymore. If you don't like me with my strong, solid mind, move on. Literally move on. And I'm not saying everybody who drinks can't have a strong mind. There's plenty who can. I have addiction problems, you guys. This is coming from somebody who used to pass out in public. So, again, please. I used to be the girl at the house parties that at the end of the barbecue, I'd be on the ground drinking with a bottle of whiskey in my hand. No, that's not me, and that's whatever. So any alcohol comments that I make, just know they're coming from that standpoint. Your truth is your truth, and I don't know anything about that. You know what I'm saying? I just am speaking from my own ex-alcoholic standpoint. So, but on my birthday, I met this girl. She had a Wu-Tang hat on. I could not answer her and tell her which albums I had. I love vinyl, and I couldn't answer her and tell her what Wu-Tang albums I had. I was so embarrassed, and I just remember thinking to myself in my drunk brain, being like, "This is why I don't drink." So, yeah, I don't know if I'll drink next year on my birthday, but I did leave it open for a hall pass. Maybe we'll revisit next year, maybe we won't, I don't know. But from here on out, I think I'm just gonna stick to my, like, mimosa at brunch or, you know, craft cocktail at dinner, and then not drink again for, like, the rest of the month. Yeah. How'd this get on alcohol? Okay, so basically, when it comes to friendships, you gotta know yourself. You gotta see what is inside that you're making it be your fault, because I promise it's, like, never your fault. Not that it's never your fault. Ooh, don't narcissists don't hear that. Me talking to you. But you gotta learn who you are, because if you don't know who you are, a lot of people don't know who they are. And also, you gotta realize most people don't even respect themselves. So the fact that you think that they're gonna respect you is so funny in the worst way. People don't respect themselves, bro. So you gotta find people who respect themselves. And you gotta start respecting yourself. You're fucking worth it. You need to start respecting yourself. So if you're one of those people that has, like, the problems of, like, "Oh my god, they didn't message me back, they must not like me anymore." We gotta address that first, okay? Why do you feel like people don't like you? Have you been told that you should be less in the past? Because if you've been told that you should be less in the past, those people aren't your vibe. If people wanna minimize you, then you need to leave them be, because that's just not it. Mainly, I hope that you guys realize, like, it's okay to only have a couple friends. It's okay to have 20 friends. It's okay to have 50 friends. But you need to have a group of 3 to 5 people that you just can trust with anything. And if you don't have that, you need to ask why. Not necessarily why, what's wrong with me. You need to ask, who am I that I'm not who am I that I'm not paying attention to? Like, what parts of myself am I not paying attention to that would be a a doorway into a group of people who support me, who understand me, who are my biggest cheerleaders, what parts of you need to be supported? If you don't know that, you're not going to be able to find friendships. It's just the fact of the matter. I've had to let go of a lot of friendships lately just because of the things that they liked about me previously. They liked alcoholic me and not this me, which is okay. I don't care. I'm not asking you to like this me. If you don't like this me, then just leave me alone? But what I noticed is people will do anything that they can to hold on to the old you. And you need to, if you want to find this level of, like, support and this level of feeling like no matter what, I have a group of people that really gets me, they have my back, I can tell them anything, and I don't have to worry about them getting upset or anything like that. You have to dig deep. You have to see, and you have to hold your boundaries strong. And it sucks. It really does, because I've literally had to tell people who, like, say that they're sorry, and I want to be like, "Okay, cool. Let's go grab lunch tomorrow." No, because they missed parts of me that just they don't exist anymore. So, you can accept their apology. If it's not a good apology, you can tell them to fuck off. Whatever you need to do, You need to do that for you, and fuck what other people are gonna say about it, because the only way to live a truly authentic life is to be truly authentic. And sometimes that's really ouchy. That's so ouchy on the soul sometimes, because there's people that I miss so dearly that I know I can't hang out with anymore because they're not good for me, and I might not be good for them in certain aspects. It's not that they're bad people, they're just bad for me. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these people that I, like, walked away from, they have their own solid ass friend group and their own, like, foundational people, and that's so dope for them. It's just that I'm not one of those people, and they can't be one of those people for me. It like, I don't understand why everybody wants to be friends with everyone. I don't. That's 1, that's way too much work. 2, you have to start putting on these different masks when you do that because, like, I just can't. It's kind of like the friend to all is a friend to none, type of thing. But to wrap this up here, finding friends as an adult is challenging, but it's even more challenging when you don't know who the fuck you are. So set your boundaries, stick to them, find out who you even are as a friend. Are you the friend who likes to hang out I love to hang out all the time. I have people at my house stopping by all the time. I love being that friend. Women, and like I said, as long as they're respecting my sobriety, I don't care what they're doing. So, like, a lot of my friends will bring since I've become single over the last year, women have started bringing over things they shouldn't be doing at their own houses. They'll come over with their backpacks full of beer. They bring vapes over here, and I don't care. There's no men here. If they tell you no at your house, there's no rules here. I feel like the Amy Poehler and Mean Girls of my friend group. I'm like, there's no rules here, okay? Yeah, so moral of the story, you have to find your boundaries. You have to figure out who you are as a friend, and it's not it's not crazy. You just have to listen to what you're wanting. You know what I mean? What do you want out of these friendships? Do you want somebody that you can just go have surface level conversations with? If that is the case, go do that. That just my brain works too deep to do that. I wish I could do small talk. You have no idea how jealous I am of that shit. But if you want somebody that you can, like, share, like, deep ass shit with, you're gonna need to do a lot of soul searching, and that's okay. You're gonna need to get really honest with yourself. And a lot of the time people don't post on social media, but you know what? The more that I share on social media, the more I've just realized that it attracts the right kind of people. So maybe I'm the shot of whiskey and you're looking for a cup of tea, but I will find other people who are looking for the shot of whiskey, you know? So, are you a matcha? Maybe I'm looking for a matcha. I don't know. So, that's the thing. You just got to put yourself out there. Putting yourself out there is so hard, but it could be as simple as sharing memes and then, little by little, or even joining Facebook groups. Or I've found a lot of friends on TikTok. I have a lot of people that I text that live all over even all over the world. I have a few friends that don't live in the States that I text that I met on TikTok. So you can meet people anywhere. I said I met someone in the grocery store. She gave me a step up. So it's just putting yourself out there. I know it's hard, but when you start to live authentically and you start to realize this is who the fuck I am, these are my boundaries, this is what I want in my life. And me personally, if people don't align with my personal goals, I just can't have them around me because I'm very focused. I can't not be focused. The moment that I take my focus off of my goals, then my life becomes about other people and less about me. And I don't care if that sounds selfish. I'm my own main character. This is my life. And if you've been told that you're selfish for that, you're not. Okay? You're not. People do it every day. You hear people all the time telling you, "Just worry about yourself." You've been told that since you were a little kid in the lunch line in kindergarten. "Just worry about yourself. Keep your hands to yourself." Yes. And you know what? When you worry about yourself, you'll meet other people who worry about you in the best ways. So just don't be afraid to talk to people. People are not scary. I know after the pandemic, people really got scared of each other, guys. And I get that. I do. But you'll be pleasantly surprised when you start just letting it go, man. Let it go. Let the past traumas go. Just meet people where they are at face value. Maybe maybe the girls I went out with the other day that were hanging out with my hot guy friend, maybe I'll never see them again. But you know what? I needed out of the house that night and they hyped me up. I hyped them up. And even if that was just a one-time thing, that was fun as fuck. Put yourselves out there and hold your boundaries. I hope this episode was helpful and it wasn't just me rambling. Anyway, bye, babes. See you next week to fold some more fucking laundry. Love you.